Louisiana is frequently associated with seafood, owing to the fact that the state produces more than 90% of the crawfish consumed in the United States. But this southern state has much more to offer than crustaceans. Louisiana is known for its diversified culture, unusual gastronomy, superb jazz music, and famous architecture, in addition to its seafood. Sugarcane, rice, soybeans, corn, feed grains, and sweet potatoes are among the agricultural exports that drive its economy. Poultry, eggs, beef, cattle, and dairy products are also significant contributors to the state's agricultural economy. Now let's dive into this video where we discuss the factors that contributed to make Louisiana such a huge producer of crawfish. What's to do with crawfish and Louisiana? Louisiana's portfolio, on the other hand, is fairly diverse. In the Western Hemisphere, the state boasts the highest concentration of crude oil refineries, natural gas processing plants, and petrochemical production facilities. Manufacturing of petroleum and coal products is its most important industry, accounting for slightly more than 8% of the state's total GDP of $257 billion. Top industries include telecommunications, healthcare and social assistance, retail, construction, real estate, finance, and insurance. Because of its enormous port infrastructure, the state has a global reach. Louisiana moves commerce from the port of New Orleans to 5 ports in southwest Louisiana. To assist businesses wishing to expand, relocate, or start up here, Louisiana has a large regional network of economic development agencies whose main aim is to assist businesses in succeeding. Furthermore, the state's corporate incentives have proven effective in fostering economic growth, contributing to the state's reputation as a pro-business state. Louisiana is attracting new and expanding businesses for good reason. The state's distinct advantages are propelling growth in a variety of business areas. Infrastructure and logistics are often critical to success, and Louisiana's Mississippi River port system, located on the Gulf of Mexico, and central location in the southern United States combine to make it a formidable hub of global and domestic business. In addition, there are 6 interstate highways, 6 Class 1 railroads, 6 deepwater ports, and 7 important airports in the state. However, Louisiana's location isn't the only factor keeping it at the forefront of international trade. Louisiana's highly diverse economic sectors, which range from advanced manufacturing to film production, scale globally due to competitive incentives, cheap business costs, qualified labor, and specialized training supported by higher education partnerships. Crawfish are found in all the southern U.S. states in warm waters during warm weather seasons. Small harvests of farmed crawfish for human consumption occur in states such as Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Carolinas. But Louisiana is by far the largest producer of crawfish in the United States. Official nationwide comparisons are not available, but industry insiders estimate that Louisiana accounts for 90 to 95% of overall U.S. production from year to year, either from the state's wild waters or from farms. Commercial crawfish sales in Louisiana date back to the late 1800s, and the Bayou State's crawfish industry now encompasses millions of pounds gathered from farms and natural rivers. Wild crawfish gathering from natural ecosystems such as bayous, swamps, and marshes provides a considerable number of jobs for Louisiana citizens. The Atchafalaya Basin is famed around the world for its crawfish output. Over 1,600 Louisiana farmers and fishermen raise crawfish on 111,000 acres of ponds and natural wetlands, principally in the Atchafalaya Basin. According to the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, the industry employs around 7,000 people directly or indirectly and contributes $300 million to the state's economy each year. How did a Louisiana-based crawfish company rule the industry? The company was founded by David McGraw in 1985. Since 1985, the company has proudly operated as a family-owned business. Beginning in 1985, there was just one man, one tractor, and one vision of him leaving his family a legacy. David built a 50-acre pond through trial and error and began sending live crawfish out of state on a single carrier to a single college friend, who then sold them to a single customer in Virginia. He lived in a house trailer on the farm with his wife and their 2 young children. One desk, one landline, paper and pen were available in the kitchen for writing orders for shipping crawfish. David could only speculate as to what his invention would become as they were caught, packed, and transported in one truck to one airline. Nearly 40 years later, the initial 50-acre pond has expanded to more than 1,000 acres. The one truck is now part of a fleet that buys crawfish from other farmers in South Louisiana and transports them to one of our 3 shipping terminals spread across the state. They no longer use one airline. Instead, they now supply to their ever-expanding customer base through FedEx, UPS, and Southwest Airlines. Although it is still a family-run business, it now employs a crew of team members to complete the countless duties necessary to deliver Louisiana to you. What led to this? A vision was planted with just one and blossomed into reality with the help of many. Let's look into what USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, has to say about crawfish. The USDA enforces mandated country of origin labeling, or COOL. Aside from crawfish, the law requires all meats, including muscle cuts, ground beef, lamb, chicken, goat, hog, and wild farm-raised fish and shellfish must be conspicuously labeled with information indicating where the food comes from. According to the Louisiana Crawfish Farmers Association, boxes of Chinese crawfish sold in supermarkets are sometimes labeled with common Cajun Louisiana names, in order to give the idea that the product is from the Pelican State. According to the new USDA COOL standard, such products must be prominently labeled as product of China. Some fun facts about crawfish. Because natural flora does not offer enough food, farmers must cultivate a food source. Rice is commonly planted by farmers due to its capacity to grow in water. Crawfish have the ability to shed or molt their shells up to 15 times. With each molt, a crawfish roughly doubles its size. Crawfish is a great source of protein. The tail contains low-calorie, edible flesh. Louisiana is the nation's leading producer of domestic crawfish. Crawfish tails have only 82 calories per quarter pound. Crawfish are also high in calcium, phosphorus, iron, protein, and B vitamins. In late September or early October, crawfish ponds are typically flooded. Farm-raised crawfish account for 88% of crawfish harvested, with wild production accounting for approximately 12%. Information on nutrition in crawfish. The reason for such a demand for crawfish in America is mostly due to the additions it brings when included in your diet. Crawfish muscle fibers are shorter and easier to digest than red meat muscle fibers. They're also low in calories, fat, and saturated fat, and they're high in vitamins. Other crawfish facts. 1 pound of peeled tails requires around 7 pounds of live crawfish. Large, mature crawfish produce less meat per pound than young crawfish, despite the fact that crawfish has a greater cholesterol content than most other shellfish. A 3.12-ounce serving only delivers about half of the daily recommended intake. A high seafood diet has been demonstrated to lower the risk of Alzheimer's, angina, stroke, asthma, heart disease, and cancer. Have you ever tried crawfish? Would you like to? Also, what do you think about Louisiana? Please provide your insightful thoughts in the comments section. Also, for more such contents, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.